So today we're talking calories versus carbs and which is more important for weight loss. So this goes way back. I mean, I had my weight loss journey back in the early 2000s. Even back then, I remember always hearing it's calories in, calories out, right? And so you start to believe this and you basically live your entire life like this. Now, I would say, yes, calories are super important, but there's a lot more to it. Calories, scientifically speaking, calories in versus calories out is how you're going to lose weight. But when it gets down to how calories affect your body, how carbs affect your body, that's where things start to change a little. Now, carbs are super, super important in terms of your insulin, right? So insulin and hunger are tied together. If your insulin is spiked, your hunger is spiked. When your insulin is low, your cravings, your hunger is also low. So this is the reason why a lot of people love the low carb and keto diet. I don't know how many of you have actually tried it. I did for many, many years, and it works like a charm. Now, if you overeat, regardless of what you're eating, the scale is gonna go up. It's just science, right? But there's a lot more to it. Okay, so let's go back to calories in general. If you are eating 1,000 calories of broccoli versus 1,000 calories of Skittles, you're still consuming 1,000 calories. So at the end of the day, it does not matter where your calories are coming from, whether they're protein, whether they're fats, or even carbs. If you're in a deficit, then you will lose weight. That's why you've seen a lot of these experiments, even on YouTube, you've seen them on TikTok, you've seen them all over social media, where someone can eat McDonald's for 30 days and still lose weight, right? So it doesn't mean that the food's healthy. It doesn't mean that they did it in a healthy way. It just means that they were in a deficit and they were able to lose weight. Okay, now if you're eating healthy and you're still eating a little more than you usually do, but you're running, you're doing HIIT, you're doing elliptical, Stairmaster, you're just working out and burning a lot more calories. If you're in a deficit, you will still lose weight. So at the end of the day, when it comes to calories, as long as you are burning more than you're actually consuming, then you will lose weight. You will actually see the scale go down. But we are also wanting to lose fat, because at the end of the day, do we just want to see the number go down, or do we actually want our body, like the composition of our body, to actually change? And that's where carbs come into play. Now, before we get into talking all about carbs, I want to give our sponsor a special thank you for sponsoring this part of the video. Now, BodyPod is a body analyzer. It's not an actual scale. I used to have trouble getting on the scale. It used to be something I dread all the time because that number used to predict like whether I had a good day or a bad day. Ever since I switched over to using the BodyPod, I now know the breakdown of that number. So it's connected to an app. It's called the Hume app. And so on there, you're able to see not only your weight, but you see how much muscle, how much water, how much fat. And it's actually crazy, but you could see the composition of your body, like literally how much muscle you have on your right leg, how much fat you have on your left arm. And I love that I'm able to keep track of my journey, my weight, basically how I'm doing on the app. Now, the BodyPod is on sale on their site right now. With my discount code, which is Low Carb Love, stacked on top of it, you can get up to 50% off. But if you have FSA or HSA, your insurance will actually cover the BodyPod. So I will leave that linked in the description below. Okay, so now getting into the carbs. Now this is something that I know very, very well, okay? I've done low carb for I would say over 10 years. I did keto for about 5 solid years, and I did it before there were any keto products out there, so it was really, really tough. But I'm gonna tell you what I learned, and I'm also gonna tell you how well it worked for weight loss. Now, why are carbs so important? Okay, when you eat carbs, your insulin goes up. Now, that also triggers your hunger hormone. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever noticed when you have, let's say like an apple, or maybe some chips, or you have, let's talk more healthy stuff. So if you have like an apple or a banana, or maybe even like some oatmeal, now you might feel okay and satisfied for, let's just say 30 minutes to an hour, but very, very quickly you get hungry. And the reason why is because your insulin actually rises and your body is now like, okay, we want more. Like it causes more hunger cues. It causes more cravings. Now, This is where carbs, like this is where living a low carb lifestyle or even a keto lifestyle or carnivore, this is where it really, really comes to play. When you keep your carbs super low, okay, I'm talking about eggs, you're having ground beef, you're having steak, salmon, chicken, like this is gonna keep, these foods keep your insulin super low, almost like a fasted state, okay? When your insulin is low, guess what else is low? Your cravings, your hunger. That's why when you eat eggs and bacon and avocado for breakfast, right, which is a traditional keto breakfast, not only are you not hungry, but you stay full for hours, okay? So now to bring that back into the calories, the reason why a low carb diet works so well is because you're not as hungry, right? So you feel full, you feel satiated, and you're not gonna crave a lot of carbs because you're not having carbs. So there's like a lot of pieces to this, okay? Because when you're living a low carb lifestyle, when you're living a keto lifestyle, guess what your body's running on? Your body is running on fat. So this is why you've heard about people getting stranded on an island or getting stranded on a boat somewhere and they were able to survive for 30 days. Well, that's because our bodies are natural survivors. And what happens is your body switches over from being a glucose burner to being a fat burner. And we have excess. We have hundreds of thousands of calories in excess in our bodies, even if you're not overweight. That's just how our bodies are made. Think of a bear, right? That's the reason why they're able to hibernate all winter. So when your body switches over to burn fat, you don't have glucose in your body. I mean, sure, I'm saying for the most part, right? So that's when you're able to prick your finger and then you're able to test your blood and it will tell you how much sugar you actually have in your blood, right? That's what diabetics do, but you can do it if you're living a low carb lifestyle. And they also have those monitors that you can carry on your arm, and then you have an app connected to it, and then you can keep track of your glucose throughout the entire day. I've actually been wanting to try it because then you're able to see how your coffee affects your insulin, how your breakfast, how your lunch, your snacks, all of your snacks that we all think are super healthy. Well, guess what? They don't work that way for everyone. So it's really, really good for you to actually test it out and see how you feel. Okay. Now, without going on a tangent, because like stuff like this, I get like really excited and then I'm like over here on, left field. So now the bottom line is the less carbs you eat, the less hunger cues you have. And the more protein, the more healthy fats you consume, the more satiated and full you're going to feel. So let's move on to like the best strategy. What is the best of the best for weight loss, right? Well, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, okay? And not many people say this, but the truth is you have to find what works for you. Now, I can't tell you go carnivore because that might not work for you. I can't tell you eat keto because that might not work for you, right? I had to figure out what worked best for me. That's what I had to do, and that has worked for me up until now. I've maintained my weight loss for over 15 years for a reason. But I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't easy to get there. It was a lot of trial and error. But again, this is what's worked well for me, okay? And please share if you have something that has worked well for you. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to see just different things that you have tried out that have actually worked for you on your journey. Now, I'm gonna tell you, carbs in the morning, I guess if you're gonna have carbs, have them in the morning, but here's the thing, it's gonna make you more hungry, okay? My ideal, okay, where I'm talking about this is what works for me. Every time I travel and I come back home, this is what I do, and it helps me lose all the weight that I gained on my trip, okay? Now I have a whole meal plan. I will leave it linked in the description below. I follow my meal plan step by step, and it works like a charm, okay? I get back home. I no longer punish myself. I no longer feel guilty. I literally know what to do. And that is the best feeling in the world. Knowing that I could go out and enjoy myself. And then I know that as soon as I come back home, I'm going back to basics, okay? I'm gonna go ultra low carb. I have eggs, I have avocado, I have some type of protein. So either like a chicken sausage, I have bacon, I have queso fresco, some homemade Mexican salsa. I do my whole spread. It looks great. Sometimes I add in some mushrooms, sometimes some ground beef. It really just depends. But what I'm trying to have you envision is just what has worked for me up until now. And it literally lets me enjoy my life. And that is like priceless, okay? So I do that. For lunch, again, something like either egg salad, tuna salad, chicken salad, and this is literally protein and fats, okay? Breakfast is protein and fats. I completely cut out carbs, okay? And I'm still nourishing my body. And yes, I'm not gonna say like, carbs are delicious and carbs are great, and complex carbs, which are all of our vegetables, it's fiber and it's a ton of minerals and vitamins, which are great. Some people might think differently. Hey, I'm telling you what works for me, okay? And then for dinner, I'll have either salmon and asparagus. I'll have steak and mushrooms. I'll have chicken with like a delicious sauce. Just anything that's a protein, healthy fat, and a veggie. But I do keep my veggies very low carb. And I'm telling you, it's almost like it's just the perfect blueprint, okay? You still have your fats, you still have your proteins, you still have your carbs. You just switch them around a little, that's all. Some people are like, oh, low carb, carbs are not evil. No one ever said that. I eat carbs every single day. But it's just a matter of how much you have of each thing, how much you have of each food group. That's it. So at the end of the day, don't let anyone tell you if you are doing something right now that's working for you, keep doing it. Keep doing it. If you haven't found your way, keep trying. I'm going to leave my meal plan linked in the description below. Try it out. I'm telling you, it has given me all the freedom in the world. I travel. If you follow me closely, if you follow me on Instagram, I am traveling all the time. I'm always out and about. And guess what? I get to enjoy my life and I get to come back and I know exactly what to do. So I hope that was helpful. I wanted to really just kind of get into the like calories versus carbs because I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with. I don't think we need to think too much into it. Like science is science, right? At the end of the day, you have to be in a calorie deficit to see that scale move. So I hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear your comments. I love going in there and reading what you have to say, but let me know. Give me your thoughts on this. I am thinking about doing like a little, wearing a glucose monitor for about a week. So you can see what my coffee does to my glucose, my snacks, my food. And then, it might be helpful for you as well. But don't forget, share this video, share my channel with your friends and family. But at the end of the day, thank you so much for being here. I love you and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.